Do you want to do a podcast? We make a darn good team. It always goes without a hitch. Let's head to Twitch and go start up the stream. Do you want to do a podcast? It's the Nerd Glasses Podcast. Let's start now. Hi everyone and welcome to the Nerd Glasses Podcast. Come?
All right, I'll do my own bit for myself.
Oh wait, no silence.
We're doing it. Get off the road.
Aha, it was muted. So Dave,
Yes, Boda.
what do you call a quintet of Mexican strongmen wrapped in a single large blanket? A 5-layer beefy burrito. Hello everyone and welcome to the Nerd Glasses Podcast. I'm Boder.
I'm Dave Mann.
And so we've played around a lot with like format and things, kind of like what order we do stuff in. Dave, we're starting to get towards like game release season. Fucking Taco Bell now. You're welcome. Hashtag not sponsored. Hashtag yet. So yeah, we're getting to the
Taco
point.
Bell send us free stuff.
Even if it's food, for a start. We're getting to the point where video games are starting to come out. Number one, we're getting to the holiday season. Number two, more games are being announced as we get closer to the next gen releases.
Hell yeah.
And number three, companies that have been had to ramp down a bit working through COVID and now coming back, stuff was getting pushed back, is now starting to come out. So with that said, there's a lot of stuff coming out the next few weeks. We want to make sure that we highlight that. So, Dave, if you want to take it away, but we're making sure that we talk about game releases. It's kind of in our remit.
And it was a part of the Behind the Counter, which is this. There was 3 programs that spawned off of that original Insane Games TV content. I did want to, on the top, acknowledge, more like Rigor Mortis, you were trying to get, we were talking a lot about Xbox, and you were helpfully trying to get an extra side on this on the PS5. Tomorrow at 1 p.m., Sony's going to be having a PS5. This almost has to be the, now they answer all of the questions that they want to.
Yeah. That's what Microsoft did a couple weeks ago, is they said, here's prices, whatever. They announced the S out of nowhere, but they announced prices, final stats, everything like that. And now PlayStation is able to do that, and they're hoping that they're in a position where basically every single one, they can just thumb their nose and be like, ha, we're better. They're hoping. We'll see.
It's not going to happen, Sony. I'm a big fan of your products, but Microsoft's already...
My big hope is that... price lines up more favorably than Microsoft. I mean that their system with a disc slot is also $500, and their system without a disc slot, because I think it's the same stats, will be $400.
Hell yeah!
And that's going to be a lot more tempting than Microsoft's nerfed thing that we talked about last week. I know. I'm the Microsoft person here.
No.
I'm the Xbox person here.
Did you hear what Microsoft admitted? And it was actually very good that they admitted it up front about the Xbox One.
Yeah. So
S.
I don't know if we're going to mention the same thing here, but there's fewer. There generally less graphical stats in the Xbox Series S. I'll call it the Sierra because talking through the mask might be a little in the Sierra. And they did confirm that it is, as far as backwards compatibility goes, it is not going to be able to play Xbox One X games with the enhanced features that Xbox One X has over the regular Xbox One.
Super good that they said that up front, so that people don't put an Xbox original game in and get really mad when it's not in a crisp 4K. When guess what? It doesn't deserve to be in crisp 4K because it was made 3 decades ago.
You're thinking OG Xbox.
Yes,
Is that a different...
OG Xbox and 360 games are not going to be as upscaled on the Series S as they would for the Series X.
In general, the Series S has a lower resolution.
Yes.
So there's that. But again, also when the Xbox One X came out, games came out that were enhanced for One X.
Yes.
They will not play in their enhanced version on the Series S.
Tip of the hat to Microsoft for getting all of that clerical stuff out of the way before people buy the systems.
Yep.
And for the people that it matters for, getting upset about it. Now you know. And now the people that it doesn't matter for, you're not affected either way, so good on you.
And again, we'll see how PlayStation answers that tomorrow. What else? There's games coming out in the next 7 days. So what have we got, Dave?
Well, today we are joined by a second in a franchise that, honestly, it's now been 12 years since it had a recapture. It gained so much life on the next-gen consoles, it wasn't even funny. And by that, I mean on PlayStation 4.
Skyrim?
Spelunky. Close!
I was going to say, it's been 12 years since Skyrim, or almost.
That 2D... Oh, I'm gonna hedge the hell out of that if this guy released into the Skyrim. But this 2D platformer, where it is a dungeon crawler on the circumstance of Indiana Jones, and things like that, is in fact getting a sequel. Thanks to all of you, the people that played that game so much that they just went, well, let's make another one.
Yeah, it was one of those kind of like cult classic things where it did fine at release, but it's had a super long tail, a great community around it. And
yes.
Communities can do so much for getting official sequels for games, and they can also do a good job getting spiritual sequels. Grip a couple years ago when the Volcage community was still enormous and huge and stuff.
Great game. Buy it. Also, thank you very much, Chauncey the Wizard, for following here on Insane Games TV.
Woo!
Welcome to the content. Today, as well, on your Xbox One, you are able to now join a lineage that has been on the PlayStation 4, the Switch, and PC since 2018 and 2019. Now, the Boater, this is a very special game franchise. It's not a battle royale like we all like, and I know it. But it's just...
Sorry, did you see that side eye?
It's just seedy enough because you will be taking off the sweatpants, putting on the plastic banded pantaloons, your white shirt, and heading out to the bars. That's right, Leisure Suit Larry, Wet Dreams Don't Dry, is coming to the Xbox One today.
I cannot believe they are still making Leisure Suit Larry games. Good for them.
When I smelled that, I was like, yes!
Oh my god.
Spoiler alert, if you don't know who Leisure Suit Larry is, don't look it up. Alright?
It's kind of awful. But frankly, it's an almost harmless kind of awful in this day and age.
Well, Rick and Morty's taking off the sweatpants. So, Leisure Suit Larry is a product of its time, and in the time when it was first created, it
is a product of a time 20 years before the first game came out.
That's actually very true, because the first game was referential of that in its entirety.
It did a good job kind of satirically handling it, as best I can remember. I never actually played it, but I read a lot about it. But it is still like, you can only hide behind satire so much. Like, Duke Nukem is just awful. You can't hide behind satire to a certain point. So we'll see how this one does, because it's been a few years since there's been a Leisure Suit Larry game.
So, for those of you who are now just about to click the purchase button, here's the plot. The game is set in the 21st century and follows Larry as he attempts to navigate the world of online dating in order to meet up with his latest dream girl. There's phalluses all over the cover to it. If you can't tell what niche they're going for, clear your browser history. Just as a...
Yeah.
On the looking forward to games that aren't going to make you go, ah! We have a game that I'm personally very excited for, and I hope other people in chat are. Butter, do you remember arcade beat-em-ups?
Yeah.
A la The Simpsons, Simpsons, the Ninja Turtles had them.
Yep.
And things like
A few
that.
of my friends were talking about Ninja Turtles just today. Yeah.
WWE, after the horrible debacle of their most recent WWE game, surprising, all of the main stage games that came out for Madden, not MLB actually, passed on that one, but other ones have been just terrible.
Yeah.
So WWE decided to go back into the old bag of tricks, and they contacted Saber Interactive And they made a beat-em-up version
Huh.
of a WWE game. All the characters are going to be exaggerated in their features and their things. They're
I like
going
that
to,
because WWE has basically been like, you're going to play a wrestling match in the style of what's televised and shared, whatever. I like that, number one, going to a different genre. But number two, a callback to that genre of old that there is very little attention paid to nowadays.
So that will be coming out on the Switch, the PlayStation 4, and the Xbox One on September 18th.
Okay.
I'll be buying it
Friday.
because I can't wait for it. But it's also because I bought the previous title in this sort of mindset called WWE All-Stars.
Yeah.
It was bad, but it was bad in the same way that you know you're playing a bad game and it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's unapologetically...
Yep.
Yeah.
It is exactly as
It's
it
not
promises
aiming
to be.
too high, and you said, "Wow, this was a low bar," but you know what? You hit that bar. You went no higher, but that's okay because we were expecting you to be down here.
Yeah, you're not. They're not going to reinvent arcade.
It's
beat-em-ups.
like it's like I'm patting our corner bug, like good Insane Games TV logo. Good.
I mean, that logo's got a lot going for its future. Make sure you follow here. But the biggest game that's coming out
tease.
this Friday, Super Mario 3D All-Stars. So for the Nintendo Switch, you're going to be getting Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy.
Nice.
The controls have been changed to support the Joy-Con controls. They will not support GameCubes, however.
Okay. I mean, one of the main reasons that people used GameCube controllers on the Wii was because the Wii was such a non-standard thing. And now, although the button layout for the GameCube isn't the same as the button layout for the Switch, you can roughly figure it out. You can roughly translate it. That's fine. I say that's fine, but there is a very specific subset of people who are, like, yeeting their stools right now as we say this.
Yes, they are incredibly upset. Your voice has been heard. And that's why it's only a limited time release game.
Oh, that's right. I heard about that. That's so friggin' stupid.
It is, and I can't tell if it's... It seems like when Nintendo released all of the Lego Nintendo things and the upcoming Mr. Game & Watch handheld, that they didn't accidentally just put that game in that press junket.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, well, we already said it.
It's, a comment was like, well, Nintendo only has so many zeros and ones they can pass around. It's like, why? Especially because, like, you're probably gonna have a digital release of it anyway.
Or they could.
Like, yeah, it's like you just being as obnoxious as Disney throwing something in the vault. Nobody actually likes that. Except for collectors who want to sell a VHS of Pocahontas for $700.
But this little mermaid has a penis on the top of it, Motor, you see.
I don't know why I picked Pocahontas. It is the most... It is the least liked of that era. But that's the thing, is that people are like, hey, the only people that like it being a limited time thing is someone who's going to go out and buy 10 copies to sell them on eBay after it's no longer in print.
And guess what Insane Games won't be doing? That! You're welcome! Although...
Yeah. We'll buy it from you for a normal price if you trade it in and then sell it back at a normal price.
Although, God willing, some of you blessed people are going to buy 12 copies of it and then try to sell it to us and then be utterly shocked when you don't get...
I have a question for you.
Yes.
You may not know the answer, but, this happens, that there's games that only have a limited release.
Yes.
You know the game I'm talking about over here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you don't exactly have to say how much we paid someone for that, but do you want to read the price that's on the
for Shelter Generations, the most wanted limited run games, and we have a copy of it in store for sale for
$149.99.
Oh, look at that! And it sells for $200 online. You're getting a $50 discount just because Insane Games likes you.
Yep. And so
the person that sold those to us actually bought a bunch of limited run games and then needed to get rid of them.
Yep.
So we backed up the Brinks truck, got them paid, and now we are actually, that and 2 other games are the only one of the 18 that are still remaining. Our poor Switch section, the second we reopened after COVID,
Oh my god.
it took such a beating.
This is one of 6 game boxes over there.
And I will tell you that last week on the Nerd Glasses, we had 10 games, and those 6 that are up there, of the 6 of them, 3 are the only ones that were there from last week.
Yeah, there's turnover.
Our
So
Switch
I
section catches it real hard, straight to the chin.
I guess that's just to say that like a few people may see that it's Mario All Stars is going to be a limited thing. They may buy more copies. They're the only ones that are going to be happy about that. But hey, it means that copies are going to get traded into us, and then they'll be available for you guys from there. So
that is all of the games that are coming out that are either have a story behind them, aren't necessarily so third-party and niche that I wasn't able to find any information on them. In the future, if you have any information, we will do one of these. Please please bring something to the table. The Nerd Glasses is as much yours, our regular viewers and friendos, as it is ours.
Since Chauncey is new, please feel free to introduce him to the carousel song in Death Stranding. He's probably already noticed the carousel in back a few times.
And we soon won't have to deal with that. But
Ooh, but Dave, then I'll just have to do this all the time. And then they'll be available for you guys. Whoops.
That is all of the games that are coming out that are either.
Sorry, I still have Twitch playing on my phone. I meant to bring up the crazy carousel thing, and I accidentally just started doubling up audio from Dave. My apology. Acapella rendition. Well,
it was all worth it.
Oh, can you imagine a barbershop quartet doing the carousel thing just in the background? We'll make it work. Anyway, and we'll get to Death Stranding. Don't worry. Okay, Dave. So that's new releases in the next 7 days, and surely there will be more for us to talk about next week. But there's been news in the past 7 days that we want to talk about too.
So, Boater,
Dave,
someone like us logged onto their Twitch account, but unlike us, and unlike the wonderful people on Insane Games TV and the related channels, did something super shitty, and then got what they deserved. Boater, would you care to embellish on that?
Yeah, in the latest round of Twitch bans some asshole, which I feel like should be a weekly feature. Yeah, right behind the new game releases. The user Leafy is here was banned by Twitch. Twitch doesn't actually say if it's a permaban or just a temporary ban, but all reporting is that that's permanent. He had previously been banned by YouTube maybe a month ago for harassing Twitch star, and I'm probably going to pronounce them, and I apologize for this, Imane Pokimane Anis. Yep. Basically for harassing Pokimane, as well as having a feud with another YouTuber, and just generally being an awful person. And they ended up going to Twitch 3 weeks ago, and a lot of streamers were like, excuse me, they were shit-talking one of our community. They were doing that harmful harassment, verbal harm, and incited their fan base to make up a hashtag about some bullshit. And it's like, he shouldn't be here. And sure enough, Twitch went ahead and finally got around to banning them. They previously just shadow banned the guy, which is like, no, you still have everything's fine. You're not going to show up in search. But let's see if I can find a specific thing. Generally, everything comes up that they're a terrible person. In the Kotaku article discussing it, one of the statements made of hateful conduct, harassment, whatever, featured Leafy saying to, quote, generally reprehensible YouTube drama monger Daniel Keemstar Keem, that Leafy had shown up to a recent protest with a gun underneath my jacket, and that he, quote, wants one day in my life for someone to give me an excuse to shoot them. So this is someone that we are glad to get rid of all platforms. Like, just YouTube didn't need him, Twitch doesn't need him. Good, bye. Get out of here. I don't know what we have for discussion on this.
So, I have, all of the names that you have listed off, the only one I've ever even heard remotely of is Pokimane.
Yep.
Because she is a pretty fun Twitch streamer.
Yeah,
And if you want to see actually a very good model of what Twitch is as a business right now and currently, give her a follow. Tell them Insane Games sent you, I guess. But my more question is, who in the fuck tunes in for these people and listens to some random assholes sitting and talking about shit that they're not really
and like that bit that I was saying, they were talking to Keemstar. Like, I looked, and that was a link to a Twitter post, and it's literally like an interview over Discord, probably. But the video is him sitting there like eating wings, and much less wholesome than a bucket of popcorn chicken. Let me assure you. He's sitting there eating wings, and the guy says, "Oh yeah, bring a shoe and want someone to give me an excuse," and he's just kind of, haha, and continues on. And it wasn't a live stream thing. It was a, yes, this should stay in the video that I upload here. Just, so there are douchebaggy parts of a lot of video communities. Twitch has them. YouTube has them. But Leafy got to the point where YouTube was like, no. And about a month later, Twitch was like, you're right, no.
Who? I don't really understand, like, the idea of... There are so many online personalities that I have no exposure to and no context of their names.
Yeah.
Just, I don't really understand the allure of tuning into these people that all of their content is rumor mongering about other people that actually either make a living by doing content and attempting to make something, or these people that do the rumor mongering and then just at each other back and forth. I don't really understand. Like,
it's like, the reason you don't understand is because, Dave, you're a decent person, and unfortunately, those parts of the internet and such tend to be populated by not.
Boater is, the last time we measured, between 12 and 16 feet. But to be honest, the tape measure kind of broke as I was tossing it up to him. So we're just going to say tall. Tall Boater is tall. But please, if you can guess Boater's height exactly to the inch, you'll win a hearty clapping.
Yeah. We'll give you clap. Okay.
So
wink. Okay. Okay. So that's... Twitch did a good in banning this person. Unfortunately, Twitch doesn't always do a good.
Yes.
Dave.
So, as most of you people know, I also do a lot of content on my own personal Twitch channel, and I work very hard here on Insane Games TV, and so being attached to 2 affiliate level channels...
I'm sorry. I just want to applaud Chauncey the Wizard right now for guessing down to the inch.
All right, you win! Hey!
Sorry, continue.
No, I'm very good. This is the point of the things.
6'2", yeah.
So Twitch sent me not 1, but 2 emails about this, and I ignored both of them until Boater was sitting here.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? What did Twitch send?
Oh!
When they send the title... We're experimenting. Just stop right there. We're experimenting. Not gonna like it.
No.
With a new ad experience.
How's everyone like that new Facebook?
Yeah, with a new ad experience on Twitch. I know what you're thinking. But wait, there's more. Actually, I'll just read verbatim this small little paragraph that they sent. Beginning in September, as a part of an ad experiment, some viewers may begin to notice that they are receiving ads during streams that others in channel aren't receiving. Like pre-rolls, these ads are triggered... excuse me. Restart. Use take 2. Like pre-rolls, these ads are triggered by Twitch, not by the creator. Yeah. Unlike a pre-roll, these ads will never play before a stream starts.
No, because they're mid-roll. How would they possibly play before?
Creators will be paid for every one of these ads that run, just like they're paid for pre-rolls and ad breaks that they choose to run, the streamers.
Yeah. And to specify, we are able to, if we wanted to, right now, we could hit a button and run a mid-roll ad break.
A 20, 30, or 60-second ad break that if you have a Twitch account and you are counting as a viewer, we would get a penny per viewer. Yep. That's the ad rate, by the way, per view.
And that's something that we can be like, all right, nothing's going to happen during this. I'm going to run that ad break. Then you come back and we keep talking.
Yeah, Dave and Boder have to fart. 30 seconds. So they did add.
I might need 60.
We've enabled a picture-in-picture in all channel categories, so viewers can enjoy uninterrupted ad viewing experience. As we experiment, yada yada yada, and there's FAQs below. Can I still run my ads? Will ads get picture by picture? So I actually saw one of these the other day and didn't even realize what I was seeing.
Yeah.
Basically, if you can with me, go for a moment. The Brady Bunch opening. But instead of, here's a story of a lovely podcast, da-da-da-da-da, it's the content you're currently getting, and suddenly we just shoot to the top left corner of your screen, right above the chat bar, and then an ad fills in the space where we currently are, or will be, and then you can still hear us. The ad is is leveled in, and mixed in. You can skip the ad. You can interact with the ad, as Twitch does have interactive ads, and things like that. So it'll be interesting to see.
So at first I thought that meant that people would miss something. Like, let's say it decides to automatically run a 30-second ad, and that's when I get pissed and throw the stool across the room.
Or we're doing a giveaway, and that's the moment where we announce the winner.
Yeah.
And suddenly everyone's watching an ad for barbecue chips. Yeah. Instead of finding out they just want a PS5.
The fact that it's picture-in-picture makes it a bit better, but it's still obnoxious. And you mentioned that YouTube has been doing mid-roll ads a lot. Like, YouTube's ad revenue, ad money, has dried up a lot in these uncertain times. I
like that intonation of in these uncertain times. Like, I loved that one. That's my favorite thus far. Along the lines of Zool.
Yeah. Yes. Appropriate in chat. So ad money is getting harder and harder to find, so they need to run more ads. So that translates into mid-roll ads. Used to be that I would watch maybe a pre-roll ad for an episode of Citation Needed on Tom Scott's channel. Now I watch 2 pre-rolls and then 2 different mid-rolls come up. Twitch, owned by Amazon, doesn't need the money that desperately. You can make the argument that YouTube, owned by Google, doesn't either. But Amazon is in more hot water for making massive, obnoxious profits in these times uncertain.
Yeah. For those of you who are new to Twitch, a fun little fact that Boder and I learned, that if you subscribe to a channel and they run an ad break, you get uninterrupted. You don't watch the ad break. You get to continue on with your camera.
I did not know that. So subscribing to a channel basically means that you're not going to get ads on that channel.
You will get ads pre-roll,
okay,
and these ads that are implemented will, and you will count as watching the ad for the viewer's sake, but you would still get uninterrupted video experience of the streamer when they run these ads by subscribing.
Okay, that's cool.
One of my favorite features, just because I always enjoyed.
I think that's similar to, like, YouTube ran out, did their support feature. I forget exactly what it's called, because when we talk about subscribe on Twitch, that's different from subscribing on YouTube.
Yes.
Subscribing on YouTube is the equivalent to following on Twitch. But they do have a support thing, and I think that among other things that you can get is just no ads on that channel, which is nice.
Yes, there's a difference between subscribing on Twitch and subscribing on YouTube. I learned that in 2018 when I would say, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and Boder would then go, Dave, it's the follow button. Yeah, that one too.
Dave, there's a difference. I forgot that I had to, like, Dave, this way. Because
I had previously just done a little bit of YouTube stuff, and Twitch, I got affiliate, and then Twitch really just kind of goes, you're affiliate now. Great, what do I do? Make money. How do I do that?
Make money!
You over there, you make that money, you go. And I'm like, all right.
You get him, Tiger!
I love Hello Kitty, all the above. What's going on, Neuter? So, Twitch did a good. Twitch
did a bad.
did a potentially catastrophically bad, but it could be just
They did
neutral bad.
state that it is an experiment, so they could very likely roll it back and say, "Oops, my bad."
By the way, a fun little workaround to this would be if you see it's a person go into top score view, just close the tab, wait about 15 seconds, and then come back on, because then you will not be counting as viewing that ad, but you will not be gone long enough to count it as no longer viewing.
I mean, if the ad has already come up, just watch it and give the person a penny.
It will not be happening to Insane Games TV,
Yep.
as our averages are not in the millions of viewers at a time, but sooner
That's
rather
true.
than later.
It's going out to select viewers going on select channels right now. It's not a globally rolled out thing, and we'll see what happens. We'll stay on top of this breaking news story and let you know as we learn more.
Motor, speaking of breaking news, my goodness, are the quartz wires on fire? Have you heard this news?
No, but I desperately want to.
Epic versus Apple has had a recent development as early as Tuesday, September 8th. Because Apple certainly did fix for a fight. They hiked up their John Browns, and they marched straight into that courtroom, and they said, "We're going to countersue Epic Games." And goodness gracious, did Epic Games say, "Please no." But Apple may not be dissuaded. They're countersuing Epic Games for stealing the 30% commissions by creating a workaround. In verbatim. Epic Games only had this in response. "Please stop. We're sorry. We messed up. It's bad."
I'm surprised that hadn't happened already, because they were kicked off of the platform for trying to circumvent the 30% take. And whatever money they've made out of that, according to the contracts that they signed in getting their game listed on the App Store in the first place, that money is Apple's. And I'm sure if Apple had just been like, "Don't do that," and Epic was like, "I'm sorry," it would have been fine. But now Apple's like, "You're going to fight us?" There we go.
Especially
There's no
after
guns to show here. That's why I let the sleeves come back down.
especially after the hold on, let's roll them up. Let's really scare people how pale we really are. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, don't adjust your contrast. That's called milk toast.
I feel I've just emasculated myself. Can we continue, please?
That'll be a clip for the future.
No, I'm erasing it.
So, not only did Apple roll up their sleeves and punch Epic straight in the nose legally, my eyes, Steven Dragon, but Epic was then going around on Twitter and throwing around scuttlebutt of the Apple ID logins getting suspended as of September 11th. Well, ladies and gentlemen, don't scramble to your phones just yet, because then Epic announced an indefinite
Okay,
extension.
we've got the accent now.
I'll go in and out of it as
Okay.
But they have announced an indefinite extension, conveniently that was given right around the time that Epic was getting countersued by Apple. Can't tell if this is legal wrangling, just so that you don't get any counterpoint back and forth. But if you have Fortnite on an Apple iOS device, Epic Games is advising that if you logged in using your iOS login, that you then attach that Fortnite account to a pre-existing email, so that if Apple does cut off iOS login access to Fortnite, you will not lose that account, and you will be able to continue to log into it. You won't get updates. Mm-hmm. The game's going to pass you by, like so many things in technology. But you will not be losing the entirety of all your skins.
What you've done already to that point, yeah.
So
just to clarify, that is that Apple is probably going to disconnect their stuff from all that, so better back it up now. They haven't done it yet, but get on it.
It'll be interesting to see how that indefinite extension affects.
Yeah, because at this point, it's like, all right, cool, we're not supporting that anymore, so they could have just dropped it. Apple kind of somewhat looks like a good guy in that they're like, hey, we understand you've got this thing that we're not going to support it anymore. We haven't put an end date on this thing yet, but that's not going to last forever.
Yeah, I think between Epic and and Apple sitting across the courtroom going, again, if you want any more information on these Apple versus Epic games, please watch the backlogs of episodes, as Boda and I have been keeping up with this story.
Basically every week.
And we will continue to any developments. If any lawyer sneezes in a courtroom representing either of these, you will know about it.
I don't like that phrase anymore. If someone sneezes, you'll know about it. That just things that make me uncomfortable. These are trying times.
I will say, as someone that works in an industry right now that's very stressful, I do enjoy when my adorable little children sneeze, because God bless them, they don't mean anything by it, and all of them are wearing masks, but there are still people that go, ah!
And I'm getting hypochondriac tendencies. I've noticed that my personal space bubble has gotten quite a bit larger. Yeah. The things, and we'll see what happens, in return to normalcy, if that contracts, or if my personal space is like, no, please stay 4 or 5 feet away from me while talking.
As Boda and I have been saying since, actually April, wash your hands, be safe, be well, we love you.
Yep. Herd hypochondria, man, that would get us so far. Herd hypochondria.
Boda, did you hear? The government's not going to give us another stimulus check. Instead, they're going to give everyone hula hoops. And the hula hoops actually bounce each other away if you get too close to each other. They're working on cars. Those are going to have those too.
No, well, can we get them? Can we get them so that they're actually like powered, so they're like pinball bumpers, where it doesn't just kind of bounce, but it goes.
Oh my!
And we can take a little child and toss them into a crowd and go.
Can you imagine?
I stepped off frame for that. But.
No, but can you imagine how easy it will be to get places if that's the case? Like, left lane going downtown, right lane going uptown. Well, I guess I'm going, ah! You are 45 minutes late for work. I got pushed into the right lane, and it took me 35 minutes to stop. Every day we get closer to Matt Groening's viewing of the future in Futurama, and I want it because I like my chances of being more of a Philip J. Fry than. Actually, I'd settle for Scruffy. He had a good life. So that's all the developments from Apple versus Epic.
Yep.
Please make sure to tune in the future for more of those. And if you guys hear anything, make sure to add us on our social medias. Make sure your voice is heard, because your voices carry as much weight in this program as ours do.
Yep. And remember, and really quick, so if you do want to catch up, you can find us on YouTube, Insane Games TV. Just search for us and you'll find a backlog of most of our programs. And as far as following us on social media, twitter.com/boaterbug. If you ever want to send me story ideas or ask about follow-up stuff, I'm happy to discuss at any time.
Hell yeah.
And somewhere that people can reach you?
Twitch.tv/DAM314, because it has my Instagram, my Twitter, and I think there's my YouTube.
Yep. So no one place, but go to Twitch, which is where you're streaming all the damn time anyway. Pop into chat over there too and ask questions, give suggestions. So awesome.
I've got a little. I'll borrow from recent WWE re-employee Wade Barrett. Boater, I'm afraid I've got some bad news about GameStop.
I don't know if I can take it. Go ahead and lay it on me.
Alright, Boater. So as you know, since GameStop reopened during the quarantine, they have been doing absolutely $0 in cash trade-ins.
Aye.
Unfortunately, that's led small businesses to great effect, because we still do offer cash trade-ins. So, the wee lads on the GameStop board got together for their second quarter meetings, and they unfortunately announced that they are going to have to close even more stores.
That brings the total up to around 600 or 700 so far this year. They were planning on closing about 500. They added 100 more to the tally.
They have announced that before the end, in 2021 to 2022, they will be closing between 400 and 450 stores.
Alright, I was a little off, but you get the idea.
that, unfortunately, means, and when they specified during their press conference, and by the way, those minutes are available on the GameStop corporate site, they unfortunately did not announce what the metrics they are going to use in choosing what stores stay and what stores close. My heart goes out to the hardworking and wonderful folks right here in the Saratoga Springs GameStop and our personal friends of Insane Games in the Queensbury GameStop. I hope nothing but the best for you, and I'll be making sure to Patreon you for the things that I absolutely cannot get anywhere else, considering that you will be having a Death Stranding pop coming out in October, so expect me to be there. But that is unfortunate news. But boy, there's a little bit of misleading news. A headline that first brought up a little bit of ire.
Oh, I thought we were losing it for a second, but nope, we're back.
Brought a little bit of ire. But then I thought to myself, this title was very misleading, and I'm a little bit mad at IGN for the title. It said, Microsoft is doubling the cost of Xbox Game Pass for PC.
I saw that.
It's happening on September 17th. So if you haven't re-upped it, by the way, at the level you're currently at, make sure you get it done by the 17th. But the reality is, if you're playing and using Game Pass on PC, you're only paying $4.99 a month for literally every single digital game that Xbox offers, that Microsoft as a company offers.
Right, if that's $4.99, what are you paying on Xbox? What are you paying on console?
On console, it is a package part of, it is $9.99.
Right, and that's a package with Xbox Live?
No. $9.99 separately.
Yeah, alright. So you're just being brought back up to your proper, meeting up with your lower console lads.
It's why I couldn't understand why the hell they were making it sound like they were doing something shifty. It's $10 for for 4,000 games. Get over yourself.
You had the low introductory price. You weren't able to argue to get when you call the cable company and say, "Hey, what's going on with my bill?"
Exactly.
Can I have the introductory price some more? And they said, "No, you daft wee laddie. That's why it's called introductory. You're paying $10 a month now." Clang.
Well, the trick around that, by the way, is you tell him, I'm cancelling my cable. Then you have your wee lad call, and he goes, I'd like to roll in for cable for this company. And then, guess what? Introductory price, until you run out of family members.
They tried to offer that to me. I said, look, I want to get a bit of a price reduction because we got cable and internet. And we're not using off of this. Can we just get a little bit off here for that? And they said, nope, no can do. We can't bring you to that price for this reason or that reason. We can't do it. And I said, all right, just drop cable, give me internet. Wait, no, we can do it. I said, nope, already made up my mind. Just internet. We're good.
More like rigor mortis and chat. Change the podcast name to Glasses for Nerds. And Demon Dragon, and very truthfully, you can always make more kids. You can always adopt more kids. And for God's sake, if the kids are playing in the neighborhood and they shatter your window for baseball, they can at least call the cable company to get to that introductory price.
An introductory price lasts you a year. You make a new kid, only takes 9 months. You're set for life, really.
Boom! All you gotta teach him is, I want to cancel. No, I want to subscribe, and then your address. Which they gotta learn in school anyway, so you're setting them up for the future.
It means you gotta start early making your family members for your price, for your scheme. But people have had a lot of babies for worse reasons. Fech.
Introductory.
Listen, we're trying. Shut up. I don't know why it's trying. Fuck. Shut.
If anyone wants to have me do different voices during the program, just by and large, in either the Discord or
we did this for God of War. We spoke like this for an entire feckin' 2.5-3 hour stream.
We sang in that voice, in those voices. Aye. Where in God's name did I put the notes of the different character voices I know I can do? We've got more news going, but now we're on a thing, and here we are.
I think I gave that to you as a highlight for Twitch, but when we were talking like this for a bunch of time. But that was only like a 15-minute highlight.
Oh, you know what, Bolter? If you don't mind, I'm going to derail for a second to talk about some sad news.
Oh, heavens, no.
I've unfortunately got some more bad news, Twitch. And I'll deliver it in the style you're used to hearing in the matter of the news that is delivered. Ladies and gentlemen, you may or may not have grown used to, during St. Jude's Play Live, the DAM 314, Kermit Sings Along on Twitch Sings as a part of the fundraiser where if we raise a certain amount of money, which we always do because you folks are just the best, unfortunately, Twitch and Amazon have decided that as of January 18th, they are not going to continue to provide the Twitch Sings service. It is going to be taken down and no longer accessible. There will be a karaoke stream either on a DAM 314 or other programs where I will be singing to the classics from the last couple of years of doing this. But we will be gerrymandering or riggering up another karaoke-esque program.
More like rigor mortis.
As I have a friend that has expressed interest in attempting to play Rocksmith on stream, and nothing people like more than watching me talk like a Muppet and flail like a Muppet while trying to play my instrument of choice, a bass guitar. Yay!
I think this was announced a week or two ago. Not only are they taking down the service of Twitch Sings because of licensing, whatever, they will be taking down clips of Twitch Sings as well. So if you have highlighted clips on your channel, make sure you download them, get them onto YouTube or wherever, just archive them for yourself. They are not going to still be up on Twitch. I don't have a Muppet.
It is very unfortunate that they are going to be doing that. But I am more excited about in the linear notes on that statement. Amazon is going to be doing something different with the music licenses, and they mention those specifically, which is very exciting because Amazon currently has the licensing for almost all of the Beatles catalog and a bunch of other things.
And they're Amazon. If they want it, they'll buy it. If they want it bad enough, they'll do it.
So, I've got some good news for you people playing Call of Duty out there. Well, if you're a fan of being a absolute fucking asshole and cheating while you're playing video games, first of all, fuck off and die. But secondly, make sure if you use the company Gator Cheats, what a shithole. They received in May a cease and desist from Activision Blizzard. And then they continued to make patches for their current customers, but they took the sales pitches down for other ones. But, recently, as of a week ago, Gator Cheats got a message on their Discord. And it was more in the tone of, hey buddy, I'd like to speak to you about this, and more than just a friendly little letter manner, if you catch my drift. If you want to avoid being in a courtroom, you better cut that shit out right promptly. So, expect to see a lot of streamers start to suddenly suck at FPSs that they used to play. It'll be a lot of fun to watch them start blowing it bad.
I have no idea where the Mickey voice came from, but wow. Dave, can I talk Star Wars for a few minutes before you absolutely slay us with Okay. Go ahead. May I speak to Dave? Is he in there somewhere?
But of course, you can talk about Star Wars. It's one of my favorite things to talk about, Motor, here on the Nerd Glasses Podcast.
Okay, just for that, I'm going to make you bring up the video. No, I'm done with voices.
View screen, turn on.
Okay, so with Star
I said
Wars,
view screen on.
With knock. With Star Wars, there has been a couple videos that have come out recently. The one that we're going to play in the background is going to be the Hunted cinematic trailer for Star Wars Squadrons. That's not that. That's a different ad. For something, I'm not quite sure what, but looks kind of cool. Oh, it's just.
Oh my god, that's gonna be so cool!
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I cannot wait for haptic feedback on the controllers.
Okay, so I've talked about Star Wars Squadrons before. There's not a whole lot new to announce for it, but they've released another cinematic trailer, and frankly, the lengths that they're going to for a $40 game, again, it's going to be $39.99, and they came out with this, which is like on par with some of like the best like fan animations and stuff. It is a 7-minute story that is basically with a TIE Interceptor pilot as the lead. I'm going to leave that running in the background. Look it up yourself. It is the Hunted cinematic for Star Wars Squadrons. And you can watch it with sound. But frankly, there's so little dialogue that for the most part it just works as a visual thing, and I'll leave it up there.
I'll link that in chat so people don't even have to...
Go hunting for it. Ha! Hunted!
Boom!
Okay. Another video that released today, the trailer dropped for The Mandalorian Season 2. Oh my god. Dave, The Mandalorian is the best thing to happen to Star Wars since Disney bought it.
I beg to differ, sir, but your point remains pretty valid, considering how people are pretty pissed about this stuff.
Sorry, I have opinions.
But Mandalorian's very good. It's the only reason I have Disney Plus in my house.
It's why we got Disney Plus, though we maintain it, we keep it going for other things. And the trailer looks really good. It's got like some humor in it, but not in the normal sense where, you know, humor would be like, oh, there's a lot of tension, and then someone says something silly. It's got that finely crafted atmosphere. I think I heard Mongolian throat singing in part of it, which is just becoming more and more canon in Star Wars because because it was in Jedi Fallen Order, so apparently it's now canon.
And they always credit the correct band in their credits for that stuff.
Hell
so
yes! It's I love it. Was it Mongolian throat singing or a didgeridoo? It was definitely Mongolian throat singing. Mandalorian, more like man on board again. Vladdy, you and I will have words.
You're going to timeout, Vladdy. You go sit over there and you think about what you just did.
So that trailer came out again. Looks really cool. Has a cool atmosphere, and it uses some lines from the last episode of the first season, and that kind of sets, hey, this is what this season's going to be about. I'm absolutely down for it. More or less, it is going to be Mando trying to find where the child is from, and, you know, on his quest to return it. You can tell that they've worked together a little more now. At one point, he kind of flexes his hand, the weird little darts come out, and the child goes, huh. Hits a button on the outside of his little floating cradle thing, it closes up, and then you hear mayhem as it cuts to black.
Ah, I can't wait!
Like I said, it's a bit of humor, but it's not like in the wisecrack kind of humor. So I'm really excited for Mandalorian as well.
I mean, the child is a character that is you can only do so much with a defenseless, for rotating purposes, character. You can either heal on them and beat the shit out of them. No one likes that, and you cannot do that for extended periods.
Yep.
Because after a while, people ignore that.
Yeah.
They get so desensitized to it, they're like, oh, well, that person's fine because they survived all these things, a la Gohan.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I love the child.
Yeah. And the last bit of Star Wars stuff isn't a release so much as news that confirms what had already been scuttlebutt for a while. Daisy Ridley did an interview with, what's his name, Joshua Gad, on Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Yes.
And in it, she said that it wasn't decided. Spoilers, by the way, for Rise of Skywalker. If you haven't watched it, thank you for watching the Nerd Glasses podcast. I'll see you in about 15 minutes on the Citadel. But frankly, it's been out. It's been out on home video, whatever. Okay, you're still here? Great. Rey is the granddaughter of Palpatine, and that was not decided until basically production started on Rise of Skywalker. It definitely wasn't planned from the start. J.J. Abrams was originally thinking during Force Awakens that, oh, well, she's a scion of Kenobi. You know, she's a descendant of Obi-Wan.
You know, which Abrams hinted at.
Yeah. And then Rian Johnson took it and said, you know what? I think it's more compelling if she's from nowhere. And then J.J. Abrams said, ha! Palpatine fucks. That's the story now.
Ew! All I can picture is, yes, your reproductive is fully operational.
Screw it. Okay. And it's just like, okay, you can argue the merits of, is it more compelling that Palpatine fucks, or that greatness can come from anywhere and nowhere can arise without a lineage or heritage, or Palpatine fucks. Obviously, I have a preferred side, but you can argue that, and I'll admit that you can argue that. What you cannot argue is that it's totally okay.
Lewd.
What you cannot argue is that it's totally okay for Disney to have taken a hands-off approach on the sequel trilogy, which would capstone 40 years of storytelling in Star Wars. At Marvel, they have planned out to a T how all the movies and stuff are going to tie into each other. With Star Wars, they were just like, you guys figure it out. It's Star Wars. Those schmucks will buy tickets. We don't have to try. And it's just so insulting to me as a viewer that they didn't think that it was worth taking the time to plan out the trilogy first. Like, it feels like an ass pull that Palpatine comes out of nowhere anyway, but for the heritage, for Daisy Ridley to say that, for Daisy Ridley to say, yeah, nobody really knew. I was only told, once we started getting into filming, but it was always kind of left up in the air because maybe they changed it in the edit. Yeah, it's just very, I think, irresponsible of Disney to have not cared. And that's another reason that I'm so excited with Mandalorian, because, again, it is something that has been carefully crafted by that production team. You look at all the work that they've done.
Hell
Again,
yes.
I loved looking at the gallery, the behind-the-scenes series of it, of Season 1, and they've done such a great job crafting it. It makes me... I'm more excited for Mandalorian after my disappointment in Rise of Skywalker. So, Palpatine OnlyFans would probably get Disney a bunch of money. Dear God, what's wrong with you
I'm
people?
sorry, what's an OnlyFans, and how do we how do we make one of those for certain characters?
Minnie already knows. Ask her. Think of how many parents with new kids could have gone to Halloween with Mando with the child for Halloween. Sorry, I'm finally getting around to catching up. Yeah, Ewan McGregor was hired to say Rey in Force Awakens. I think that he said that he had a bit of a line in Rise of Skywalker. They brought in the voice actress of Ahsoka Tano. They had a bunch of people that have played Jedi in the past to do that. So, definitely the stuff was kind of there. But anyway, that's that. Dave, thank you for letting me talk for a few minutes about Star Wars.
No,
that's kind of my personality type.
I am always appreciative when we have something, not only just new, but something to talk about with Star Wars, because it is a perfect example of something that started as a grassroots. The individual creator believed in something, and it grew, and it flourished, and it blossomed. And then the fruit came down, and the fruit grew, and that blossomed, and then money started happening, and budgetary constraints started being less feasible.
Dave,
and,
you're losing your train of thought, so I'm just going to watch this shot again where he doesn't quite catch the bus.
So, yeah, Star Wars is a perfect example of something
you can do
that,
it, buddy.
No matter how hard you love it,
you can get it.
Unfortunately, starting to grow extra mold on it, and you really need to start thinking about throwing some of that out. But
speaking of being judicious with what you're able to include, Dave, it is 8:30. That means that unfortunately we are going to have to hold off on Death Stranding again for another week. That's fine. And if we had anything else too, we can push that back to next week. Next week again, we will open up with more game announcements that are coming out in the next 7 days, and then continue on to what's happened in the last 7 days. I'm enjoying where the program is going, especially because of all of you out there. So huge thank you to I Love Hello Kitty, More Like Rigor Mortis, Vladdy, Demon Dragon, Chauncey, who have I missed?
And our other regulars that in time
Yes.
have come on and chatted
So thank
with
you
us.
to everyone that's been here tonight, and of course those of you who may have been just lurking and not chatting, which is totally great, and those who have come by in the past. Thank you to everybody that has helped us grow the program and grow the channel. So thank you, everybody. If there's nothing else to go,
There is one other thing that tomorrow, friends and allies of Insane Games TV have had an opportunity that they do receive very often, but
Yes.
I highly implore you to check out that link that I just that Insane Games TV just sent in there.
YouTube.com/geek4all.
It is our friends and compatriots in online creation, and my family personally. They have been contacted by Wizards of the Coast, and tomorrow, starting at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, they're going to be streaming the newest Magic the Gathering set on Magic the Gathering Arena. Joe and Amy always make one of the best long-form active streams. And I mean, Joe streams until they cut off access to the thing sometime in the wee hours of the then AMs after.
Yeah.
The Weekend Wednesday will be using a webway to make sure that people do tune in for that and catch Zendikar Rising, which is the newest set for Magic the Gathering. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be so much excellence. I highly implore you, if you have not subscribed to the Geek for All family of channels, if you haven't met Joe and Amy, who work at Insane Games for the convention seasons at the tables, please make sure to check them out. Make sure to tell them Insane Games TV sent you, but please give them the love and see that the work, the excellence that they do. So that'll be a lot of fun, and congratulations to Geek for All for once again getting a Wizards of the Coast sponsored stream. But, ladies and gentlemen, I know you're thinking, that's tomorrow. What about now? What about me right here? Well, ladies and gentlemen, in just a minute, we will be going offline. And then you stay right there in that seat. In fact, don't even move.
Maybe
Then
get some popcorn.
The pre-roll
But come right back.
will begin for the Citadel, which is hosted by Boater. Boater, what are you playing on the Citadel tonight?
I will be playing Dragon Age 2 tonight. We finally got past the first main act
Hell yeah!
last time that we played, so we're heading to the Viscount's Keep, where he wants us to do something with the Qunari that have been in Kirkwall for the past 3 years, just kind of sitting there and being intimidating. So we're getting involved in the politics of the city, and I don't know, maybe there'll be trade negotiations, which we're short, Master.
And after the Citadel goes offline, Dan will be revving up the engines, and as they say, he will be zooming off in Danny NASCAR, where you, the viewers, can join into the races, and please do this, run straight Dan off the road and into the wall. I know...
Make him mad. It's hilarious to watch.
It makes for good content, and by the way, now try to run Dan off the road. He's gotten very good at not letting people do that to him.
Yeah, because everybody tries.
So,
he has a very push-off-the-road-able manner.
if you haven't yet, make sure to follow here on Insane Games TV to get your shout-outs during the programs. This isn't just the Boater and Dave network. This is a network comprised of some of the most fun and entertaining live streams that you're going to see anywhere on Twitch. And we can't say anything other than the fact that Insane Games TV will be growing in the near future. Don't miss out while we're still at this level. For all of us here at Insane Games TV, I've been Dave Man.
And I've been Boater. Thank you all for watching, and I will see some of you in just a few moments on the Citadel. Bye, everybody!
Don't tune out. Make sure to tune in.